Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new episode of Factorio. This is the second episode of the series, and in the last episode, someone mentioned that this part of the continent, this part of the land, looks like someone is trying to kiss. This is like the mouth, the nose here, and it's pretty accurate. Oh well, anyway, let's move on. So let's recap what we did. Last episode, we've built our small powerhouse, if you can call it that. And we've also started building our production zone right here. So we have 4 electric steels producing coal. We have 6 furnaces producing iron. We have a little bit of copper down here. I have my setup for steel almost ready. I just need to build things. This episode, I think I'm going to build one setup for stone. Maybe start thinking about the setup for steel. Another thing I want to do is I want to move this from here. I want to move this thing away, and I want to start thinking about a main bus. But before that, my green science pack is almost researched, so I should maybe automate that. Alright guys, here we are. Yes, this setup is absolutely criminal. This is absolutely illegal and I should go to prison. But I will fix this. And I'm not even gonna try this works. I am producing green science packs. It's all that matters. I will fix this. I promise you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have automated 2 important things. Steel, well, let's say almost automated 2 important things. Steel and bricks. So bricks are very simple to automate. You guys have seen my previous setup where the middle transport belt brings coal, fuel for the furnaces, and the resource I want to process, and the 2 lines above are the output. And this is exactly the setup I used for bricks. So the middle line will have coal, fuel for the furnaces, and also stone, the resource I want to process. The furnace will consume the coal and the stone, and they will output the bricks for the 2 lines of transport belts above. With this, we can now start producing our defenses, right? We can start producing walls. And I think I will do exactly that. All right, here we go. And here we have a simple setup where stone goes inside the assembly machine. The assembly machine will produce walls, and we'll have a ton of walls here. I will probably use these walls to make like the defense systems around our base. I haven't been attacked yet, but it's better. We better play safe than sorry. It's better be safe than sorry. So I will start thinking about walls and defenses and turrets. Now, steel. This setup is almost finished. So let me explain. Once again, the middle line will have coal and the resource we want to process, in this case iron, because we want to make iron plates. And to produce steel, these iron plates will then be transported to another furnace, and I believe 5 iron plates make 1 steel plate. The only problem with steel is that we need to supply coal to 2 furnaces, which means we will have this extra line above with coal to supply coal to these furnaces. This lane right here far away is the lane that will bring the output to whatever we need. Now, the only problem with this setup is that, as you guys can see, this line right here is full of inserters that grab coal and the long-handed inserters to bring the output right here. So the setup is not fully complete because these small electric poles will have to be, what are they called? Right here. I'll need to replace them with medium electric poles. So yeah, the setup is not yet complete, but it's nothing too crazy. My majestic setup right here will take care of it real quickly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I was not expecting to do this so soon, but my radars spotted the first bitter nests on the map. These red dots are basically the enemies. And as soon as this red bubble, by the way, this red bubble represents the pollution my infrastructure is creating. And as soon as this bubble of red pollution reaches one of the enemies, let's say the bitter nests, they will start forming waves that will attack us. And I don't know why I'm getting scared. And for that reason, I will start walling off the entire area. So the goal was to, basically do a big wall that goes all the way down to this water area. And from this water area all the way up here, right? And on top of that, we will need some turrets to defend our city, let's call it that way. So yeah, I don't want to find out. I think the bubble of pollution is getting a little bit too big, and I'm afraid that something bad might happen. Yeah, on top of that, I have created a few electric mining drills, a few extra electric mining drills, so we now have enough iron ore for steel and enough iron ore for our furnaces. One thing I've been doing is I've been also upgrading our furnaces. And so these furnaces right here, they are a little bit better, right? So the regular stone furnaces have a crafting speed of 1, and the new steel furnaces, they are twice as fast, but they also produce twice the pollution, right? So this can be really good. And thanks to these furnaces right now, the input of iron plates is a lot greater than the necessary amount of iron plates, and so the belts are full. This is really good. It was a really good improvement. But yeah, on top of that, I've also created right here a small setup for ammo, because I will soon need the ammo for the turrets. So yeah, I'm getting a little paranoid. Oh, what I say? What did I say about the... Oh no. They are coming to get me, I knew it. Look at these maniacs. Get out of here. All right, we need to quickly take care of this, because now I'm paranoid. Now I'm going absolutely crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I now feel secure. I've built a massive wall, like I said. I've put some turrets around, so hopefully I don't have to worry about the nests. But look, they are spawning all around the map. I'm getting a little scared. Look at this one right here. This is massive. All right, the main bus will be right here where I'm standing. I want to leave all the space up above me. By the way, I'm the yellow point, and I want to leave everything up above me for ore processing, any kind of, I don't know, there will be uranium, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So the main bus will be very simple. 4 lines of iron, 4 lines of copper, and by the way, between lines, we need to leave 2 spaces, and it's very simple, because let's say I want copper right here where I'm standing. What I need to do is I need to split, right? And I need, do I have one? Yes, I do. I need one underground belt to bring the resources all the way up to my, let's call it the processing center. And this is why you leave 2 spaces between the transport belts. We will need 1 line of steel, 2 lines of green circuits, 1 line of red circuits, and 1 line of blue circuits. Then we will need 1 line of plastic. We will also need 1 line of batteries and 1 line of bricks and stone. And last but not least, we will need 1 line of coal. So as you can see, the main bus is crazy. And I don't know how many belts, but I will need to craft a bunch of them. Yes, I've made a small setup right here to create red transport belts, and this is like this oh my god, look at this, guys. This is This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. It begins. The main bus is up and running. The first thing I want to automate is electronic green circuits. And it's very simple. All I need right here is iron and copper. All right, the new setup I will probably try is this one, right? So I will have a massive line of assembly machines producing copper plates. And then next to it, I will have a massive line producing electronic circuits. And the good thing about this setup is that if these three assembly machines are not getting enough copper, I can just increase the production. So I can have like 5 assembly machines for 3 electronic circuits. Probably at some point later down the road, I will have to double the setup. So I would probably need to do something like this right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Another thing automated. We now have a bunch of green circuits, a beautiful line of green circuits. All right, let's go over this. Hopefully I can explain this clearly and why I use the setup and why there are this many assembly machines here and this many assembly machines there. To automate green circuits, it's very simple. All we need is iron plates and copper cables. To create copper cables, we need copper plates. So what ends up happening is that we will have 2 main lines. One main line of assembly machines producing copper cables and one line producing green circuits. Keep in mind that green circuits also require iron plates, and this is what this line right here represents. So now, in order to figure out the correct amount, we need to look at craft times. So electronic circuits require 3 copper cables every 0.5 seconds. And copper cables, I produce 2 copper cables every 0.5 seconds. So for every 2 assembly machines, by the way, 2 assembly machines require 6 copper cables, I will need 3 assembly machines producing copper cables. So if you double this setup right here, every 3 copper cables for 2 assembly machines, we will have kind of a perfect balance. Balanced as all things should be, right? Now, do you guys remember that thing up there about the research and that crazy thing I had up here? You know, it's like, that was really bad, right? So what ended up happening is that how can I say this? Like, my dog ran over my keyboard and that thing appeared on the map. But I would never fall that low. Never, guys. So let's now think about a decent scalable research production thingy, right? For automation science packs, what I will probably do is something similar to the green circuits right here. I will have a line producing iron gear wheels, and I will have a second line producing the science packs. Oh, guys, look, something's happening over here. Hold on, wait a minute. What are they? The immigrants, they're trying to get in. Okay, this is crazy. All right, guys, here it is. The perfect setup is done. Now, we only have a tiny little bit of a problem. You see right here? So my assembly machines are not receiving enough iron. So there's a small delay here. And if there's a delay here, there will be a delay here. And we don't like that. We definitely don't like that. So in order to take care of that, we will proceed to use fast inserters. So now, even with fast inserters, damn, that's crazy. All right, but I assume this setup will be fine. Isn't it majestic? And it's only the beginning of a great mess. All right, so there's 2 extra things that I want to do in this episode. I want to automate logistic science packs. I want to get them right. And also I want to get my labs up and running, because right now my science is stopped, and that's bad. That's really, really, really bad. So labs. Now there's a ton of science packs. So if we place down a lab, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 science packs. That is absolute madness. This is insane, right? So this is the setup that I think I will probably use, right? Every line can bring 2 types of science packs, because we can do something like this, right? Let me show you. So let's, for example, let's imagine that the steel is the green science pack, right? All right. And let's imagine that copper plates are the red science pack. So in this setup right here, I can have one line of transport belts that will always bring me 2 types of resources, right? And so what ends up happening is that these 2 lines can bring 4, right? And another 2 lines up here could bring the extra 3, right? So, and even as you can see, if I extend this line, the resources will always be the steel, or the green science will always be on top, and the red science will always be at the bottom, right? So in the main setup, we could have something like this. And later down the road, again, if we want to expand, we could expand to the right. All right, here we go. Our setup is almost complete. We are missing green research. So as you can see, things are still very, very simple. Iron plates here, inside this assembly machine, iron gear wheels. Inside this assembly machine, they produce science packs. And we also require copper plates that go inside this machine, right? So this long-handed inserter grabs the copper plates, and copper plates with the iron gear wheels, boom. Red science goes out all the way up to our labs. Now what we need right here, and by the way, I will have to clear a few trees. Now we need the green stuff, the green juice. And this is a little bit more complicated. This is where things get a little bit crazy, because for transport belts, you need the iron gear wheels, and for the inserters, you also need iron gear wheels, but you now need electronic circuits. So things will go crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at long last, the setup is complete. All right, so what the hell is going on with this setup? So let's go over this. What do we need for green science packs? We need 1 transport belt and 1 inserter. So how do we make these? We can make 2 transport belts with 1 iron gear wheel and with iron plate. So to make iron gear wheels, we will need 1 transport belt that brings iron plates. These iron plates will be fed to our assembly machines, and they will produce iron gear wheels. The iron gear wheels will then be fed to an assembly machine. And this assembly machine, for example, this one right here, will produce inserters. Keep in mind, a very interesting thing is that we can feed the iron gear wheels from this assembly machine to our inserter assembly machine, because look here, inserters take 0.5 seconds to craft, and iron gear wheels take 0.5 seconds to craft. So this is a 1-to-1, right? On top of this, our inserter will need iron plates and electronic circuits. This main belt right here will bring iron plates and electronic circuits from our main bus up here, right? And if we have problems with green circuits, what we can do is we can expand our production up here, right? So we have inserters taken care of. What about transport belts. We also need transport belts for our green science pack. And transport belts follow pretty much the same pattern. We will have a transport belt with iron plates. These iron plates will be fed into our assembly machine, producing iron gear wheels. These iron gear wheels will be fed directly to the next assembly machine, producing transport belts. And once again, transport belts have a 0.5 second craft time, which means that we can feed the iron gear wheels from the assembly machine to the transport belt assembly machine, because the craft time of these is exactly the same. And for anyone wondering, why do we have two craft times right there? So the one on top is 0.5 and the one below is 1 second. What's going on? So the total raw means that one transport belt will take 1 second to craft, because the iron gear wheels take 0.5 seconds to craft, and our transport belt also takes 0.5 seconds to craft, means that the total amount of time we will have to wait is 1 second, and the total amount of resources is 3 iron plates. Okay, so, but where does our transport belt get the iron plate? So the wheel comes from the assembly machine, but where does the iron plate come from? The iron plate comes from this main belt that also feeds these assembly machines right here, the inserter assembly machines, because both of these require iron plates. So this is kind of a way to have one main belt that feeds both of these. Now, a very cool thing is that it takes me 0.5 seconds to craft 2 transport belts, and it takes me 0.5 seconds to craft a single inserter, right? So this means that I need 2 assembly machines producing inserters and only 1 assembly machine producing transport belts. And this way I have 2 transport belts every 0.5 seconds and 2 inserters every 0.5 seconds. With these numbers, let's look at green science packs. So green science packs require one transport belt and 1 inserter every 6 seconds. So this means that we were producing, let's see if I remember, we were producing 2 inserters and 2 transport belts every 0.5 seconds. So now, if we make some quick maths, 2 inserters every 0.5 seconds, it's 4 inserters every second. 4 inserters every second, it's 24 every 6 seconds, right? So this is what we have here, 24, let me count them. So 12 assembly machines on top and 12 assembly machines on the bottom. If my math is correct, we will have the perfect balance of input here. And one thing I will probably do in the future is that if I need to double my green science pack production, I will put them down here and I will double this production right here. This kind of occupies a lot of space, and I don't think this is probably not the most efficient setup. When it comes to time efficiency, it's perfect, right? But I think it works, right? It works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is here. It is complete. The most majestic setup I've ever seen in my life. Oh, look at it. The lines are so beautiful. It's green, it's orange. It is kind of gray and black. This is beautiful. I love this. But as you can see, my current setup is completely able to deal with, how many is that? That's 12 labs. 12 labs at the same time. And let me tell you, I think I am building my base a lot better than last time. This is beautiful. I am super excited to see what's next. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.